Everyone. As the title suggests, it's a bit windy here today. It says we haven't got anybody watching, but Mr. P, are you watching? Mr. P is making a coffee. So yeah. He thought he'd make a coffee while while we were waiting. So we've still not got anybody in. We've got the one watching. Hello to the one watching. Come and say hello. So it's all right. I've got it on my mobile device, and then it's the ads is playing. Hey, we've got George in. We've got two watching. Hello to the two, other than George, and so yeah. Mr. P were hoping to go out flying the drone later on, but it's not looking too promising because it's very, very windy. The sun's out, but it's very, very windy. Hiya, Chaotic. Hello. Long time no see. Well, it's showing up on my phone. Nobody's watching yet. On here, it says it's shot up to 6. So, hiya, Isabella. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. It's same as I say. It's sunny, but it's windy, and I think it's in like low 20s. The temperature wise, but it's a bearable, if you know what I mean. Same as I was saying, Mr. P. Roping, it could go out flying, but oh, you've been to Japan, have you? Oh, I hope there's some videos coming. That's one place that we've always wanted to visit is Japan. Very cultural place. So yeah. And how long did you go for, Chaotic? Was it a business trip, or were it like a vacation? We've just been for a weekend away to see Mr. Eagle VP, and we had a fantastic weekend away. Oh, you've been for 4 months, have you? Wow. I didn't think we'd seen you around very much. Huh? Chaotic World.
Oh.
He's been in Japan for 4 months.
Japan.
On the 13th, I've been on YouTube for a year. What should I do to celebrate? You could always do a live stream, George.
Just do a giveaway for one of your magnets, and I'll have a free magnet then.
Well, you see, I've actually been on YouTube 2 years, but I sort of didn't do anything to celebrate it. But on the next day, the day after that, George, it's a bit of a poignant day on the 14th, because it would have been my mum's 80th birthday. But so, all depending on how I feel, I can't promise I'm going to be around for obvious reasons. So I'm just leaning over to get my coffee. Oh, it says he stopped in Manchester for 2 weeks.
We could have popped over.
Listen, let me finish, mister.
No.
He says, but couldn't figure out how to get in touch with you guys. Wanted to fly some drones.
What that?
Chaotic.
We'll be chaotic, but I'll see you.
And George says, keep your eyes peeled. There may be a giveaway, Chris.
Oh.
So, yeah, we're on all the social media platforms, Chaotic. I don't know whether, what social media you use. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Instagram. you know, I mean, you could have. So yeah, I mean, by all means, you know, Chris would have took you out flying the drone. They had, same as I say, we've been away for the weekend, and
full English countryside.
yeah,
Isabel.
they've been. We went early Friday morning. Chris flew the drone Friday afternoon near the pier. We went out again Saturday, and we came home Sunday. Oh, his self-service wasn't working. Oh.
That's all good.
Oh, he's put with.
Tony.
Hiya, Tony. How are you? I won't say that. I won't go that far, Tony. Not a legend by any.
It must be the Chris Pickering.
He says, I felt lost without my phone. Well, you see, this is the thing, you know, nowadays, people feel like they've had a limb cut off if they're not using the mobile devices. He says, hello, Chris. Always a pleasure to see you, even though I can hear you fine. How's your fine self? So, yeah, you know, I did publish a baking vlog on my channel yesterday. It didn't turn out how I, you know, it were a little bit burnt. So same as I said to Chris, I'll have to make it again. Oh, he had to get an international chip when he got to Japan. Oh, well, next time, same as I say, next time you...
next time, because once I'd be in his suitcase. I'm only about 2 foot tall, so I quite easily hide in there.
Yeah. You made me forget what I was going to say now. It's all right, I have these moments. Oh, yeah, it were a little bit burnt, but it's like the you know, the oven settings, and you know, it's edible. You know what I mean? It's edible, but I would have, you know, had I had a choice, so, you know, but I sort of went to the recipe. I put foil on it after 40 minutes. I mean, it was fine up until that point. But then it says an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, I probably should have checked on it after about an hour. But I left it, and it were a little sort of burnt round the edge. You know, it's edible. Yeah. So Callum wasn't impressed with it because he doesn't like anything with nuts on it. And of course, I sprinkled some flaked almonds on top, and I think I don't know. It's just.
Tony's asking if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, you can do, Tony. Yeah, I'll watch out for you going live, and I'll pop in. So yeah. It says not burnt, just crispy. The same as I say, it's edible. Let's put it that way. And you know, in my game, you know, obviously baking, it's all about the settings and the timings. You know what I mean? It's not very often I sort of have these like mishaps, but you know, at the end of the day, these things happen. You know what I mean?
Cajun, what's that?
Cajun.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's Oriental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a word for it.
Just not what it is.
But yeah, while you've been away chaotic, I mean, like for a month or so, I've not been very well at all. Oh, bless Tony. He says, I've done 2 panels now, one last Saturday and one on Monday evening. They're going down well, being inspired by you and Chris and a few others.
Hey, awesome.
But the thing is, Tony, the more it's like when I first started doing live streams, I was very nervous about it because I said to Chris, I says, well, what do I talk about? And he says, well, just be yourself and just, you know, sort of let the conversation flow, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm okay now, chaotic. I had cellulitis in my neck and then I ended up going to the hospital. They gave me 2 lots of strong antibiotics, one which I'd had previous, and then one that I'd never had before. And then I started with like an allergic reaction to one of the antibiotics. So it's like I've been backwards and forwards to the hospital and the doctors for the past month. But, you know, touch wood, everything's fine now. I'm feeling, well, tons better. You know, I feel more myself. I feel, oh, tell Chris to look out for my next vid and the next 2 after that. And he'll be amazed. So yeah, so you know, I'm sort of I'm 99.9%, you know. So yeah, I mean, and I think as well, same as I'm just saying, I think the weekend away's been, you know, more beneficial to me. It's gave me a chance to recharge my batteries, because I'd been sort of not been out anywhere for about a month or so. So yeah, you know, I'm sort of, as regards like health wise, yeah, I'm 99% there, and I feel a ton better with actually going away. It's still saying none in chat on my YouTube.
7.
Are you gonna blood how?
Gonna blood hole. Hello.
So yeah, you know, and I actually did say to Chris, Pixie's channel, normally by now we've gone on holiday. Yeah, and if you were wondering, Gunnar, the Pixie's my other half is over the other side of the room.
Hello. I've got 159 now.
Yeah, Pixie's channel's just got my Venom shirt through the post.
Venom.
So I keep losing my mojo and forgetting what I was talking about. Oh yeah, normally we've been on holiday by now, but our son Callum has been doing his exams. He's been doing his application and everything for college, and his results will be through. Not the Spider-Man character. So anyway, so normally we've been on holiday, and obviously we're not being well, etc. So you know, same as we've said, we decided to go away for the weekend, and I think it's done me the world of good. I actually did catch the sun, so if you're wondering why my face is a bit red, it's because I've caught the sun. And we didn't expect it to be as warm as what it was. Don't let me go on the whiskey. So yeah, it's all right. I'm just refreshing my thing because it was saying on me. We've got 7 watching, so yeah, I've refreshed it and it's fine now. So yeah, so same as we've said, we can do the odd weekend away and slow cooking. Oh dear. Same as we've said, we didn't expect it to be as warm as what it was. We didn't take no sunscreen or anything. And by the time we got back, I was like a lobster. You know, you know, I've caught it here sort of thing. All my face were all red. I looked like you were going to go away in October this year, but decided, yeah. Oh. Well, you see, this is the thing. I mean, Chris has got a chair, but it's a bit dodgy. You know, it can be sat there and all of a sudden it's going down and it's like got like a rocking thing, but it sticks occasionally, and it sort of gets a little bit annoyed with it. But yeah. Oh, dropped down to 5 now, so somebody's left. Yeah, so is it me or has it gone dark? It says you've got to stay sober.
Drink a soft drink with no booze.
Oh dear. But I mean, same as we were saying the other day, Tony, the only time that Chris gets like that is when we go to see Keith, and that was the last time.
It's a bad influence.
Yeah, that was the last time he got that blottoed. Was the last time we were at Keith. So I mean, you know, it don't take a genius to work out. You know, the factor in it, and it's Keith. But same as I said, you know, I mean, it's once in a blue moon. It don't normally get like that, you know, and it's always good to have a blowout. Let's just say. I'm mostly an ale drinker. Oh yeah, Chaotic says he's going to send you a link.
Me?
Yeah. It says there's a great chair I was looking into on Amazon for about $80.
Okay, mate.
My chair came from house clearance or something, but it's not very comfortable after 2 hours. I really need a lumbar support. Yeah, we see that chair that Chris has got. I mean, when they were working, that was sort of one of his, how should I put it? He acquired it, let's just say.
Freebie.
Yeah, you know, somebody were throwing it out, so he picked it up and bought it home, like quite a few bits, you know, like the exercise bike, that didn't cost us anything. That was what somebody were, you know, getting shut off. But obviously he can't do that now because he's not working. So yeah, Tony, you'll not regret if you're supporting George. He's a 13-year-old lad. He don't live far away from where we are. We keep going to say we're going to go over to Newark to meet up with him. He does a fantastic job in magnet fishers. You know, he goes with his dad and his mum, and you know, all in all, is you know, is a fantastic young lad. So you know, we've sort of known George for quite a while now. Same as we say, I mean, obviously George, now the summer holidays is, you know, we're going to have to pop over. So yeah, we'll have to organise something and like come over for the day. And it's all right. I see one I like, and it's a back support head and rest, but it's just over £100 at the moment. So I'm looking at costs, so I know how much. We see that's it, but you've sort of got to look at it this way, Tony. Pardon me. Yeah, it's £100, but if you're going to be comfortable sitting in it and it's going to support your back, etc., it's going to be well worth the money. Chaotic says the one I currently have is great. I fall asleep in it, not even realising I'm in a chair. Can you put George's link in the chat for me, Mr. P?
No.
It's Magnetic G. Same as I say, he's only a 13-year-old lad. He goes magnet fishing most weekends with his. He goes out with his mum and his dad. I mean, he were in Leicester a few weeks ago, and they ended up having to phone the bomb squad out. So, so yeah, you know, I mean, and he gets fantastic views on it, and you know, is doing really, really well. So that the link that that Chris has posted is to Magnetic G's channel. So, you know, if you want to go and take a look at it, you know, I think myself, Tony, it's just right up your street. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you enjoy the content, you know. So, yeah. And you don't have to thank me, George, because, you know, I wouldn't say it otherwise. You know, we enjoy your content. Chris always watches your videos. I don't always, I mean, I'll admit I don't always get to watch them. But I'll always, you know, tell people about your channel because, you know, you know, it's, I think it's interesting and it's right up people's street, if you know what I mean. And it's like inspired, such as DJ Ian Entertainments. He's bought a magnet. Chris wants to go out and buy a magnet. You know, that's something that interests people. You know, not a lot of people have heard about magnet fishing, because when you say magnet fishing, you know, you think it's like, you know, fishing rod and whatever, but it's not. Well, that's it. That's it, George. You never know what you're going to find. You know, and I was just saying about, you know, when you had to have the bomb squad and everything out, the other, you know, same as I've always said, you'll be amazed at the stuff that people throw in the canals and whatever. You know, it's, I mean, even like not so long back, George went to Cornwall and there was still magnet fishing down Cornwall. I am assuming that you went for an holiday, but they took the magnet with them and, you know, so you know, it's a case of, you know, you'll be amazed at the things that people throw out, or you know, I mean I keep having a joke with Chris, because he's the same as I say, is contemplating getting them, and I says, well, no, in your luck, first time you go magnet fishing, you probably find a dead body or something. You know, one of these that's tied in chains and whatever, and he's going, oh God, this is heavy. Pull it out, and it's a dead body. I hope that's from your money and not mine. It's all right. We keep it because when we were at Keys, it sort of gave me 2 lots of £2, and he says, I says, it's all right. I says, but I bet it's from on my card, and it were. So yeah, you know, and same as I said, you know, it is contemplating getting a magnet, but you know, same as we've said, you never know round here. Knowing our luck, Chris will fish a dead body out at one of canals or reservoirs with a pair of concrete boots. Oh yeah, he always informs the police, Tony. I mean, that's one thing I can say about George. They always, I mean, like I don't know how long ago. I don't know how long ago it was, George, but he found a motorbike, and the motorbike was actually stolen, and he reported it to the police, and the police gave it back to the original owner. Obviously, it weren't any good, but at least he's got something to prove that it was stolen, and obviously claim off his insurance. But yeah, it does abide by the rules, Tony. Yeah. Same as I say, I was just saying to Chris actually this morning, Tony, that when I invited you up onto the panel the other day, I'd asked sort of, is there any other way rather than putting the link in the chat, and that I invited you via email. Well, this is the thing. I was watching, or were it on Facebook, and there were a pile of money, and he said they were going to count it actually. Same as I say, you know, I mean, obviously there'd probably be only 2p's and 1p's. Yeah, he says he always informs the police, but we always research the guns first to see if we keep them. 2 out of the 4 we have been able to keep because they're obsolete. Ooh. Yeah, Chris is saying he dropped that money, George. Well, yeah. But you know what I mean? I suppose sort of over a period of time, I very soon marks up. But I mean, I look at it this way. You're taking the time and effort to do the magnet fishing, etc. And as I always say, finders keepers, if you know what I mean. Send it to the Pixie Foundation. Oh dear. But yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed, Tony. You know, in all honesty, and I'm being honest here, George, it's more of a man thing than it is a woman, if you know what I mean. Oh, the money we were finding was wrapped in bags with candles and wrote, oh dear. That sounds a bit ominous. I mean, when you're talking about rosary beads, they sort of something to do with they were Jeanette's beads. Oh dear. I'll give him 10 out of 10 for trying, eh, George? I can hear him laughing. Well, you see, this is the thing, George. I mean, it's in a way, it's your reward for doing what you do, if you know what I mean. They've chucked them away, so you know, it's the old adage, you know, finders keepers, losers weepers. You know what I mean? you know, if they chuck in 50p's and £2 and whatever in these canals and whatever, you know, it's their loss and your gain, if you know what I mean. So, oh, yeah, Tony's saying if you ever find any foreign ones, in last two George has said it last 2 times and going out, they've got about £50 in coins.
That about 50 quid.
Chris lost 50 quid, he says.
I lost 50 quid in a load of bags. With some beads in it.
Yeah.
I was hiding it from Jeanette, but now she knows about it now. The beads were a Christmas present.
Yeah, right. Oh dear, he's going hard. Oh dear.
Actually, that can come out now. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, if this wind dies down.
Yeah, seems alright. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, we'll have to go over and see George.
Yeah.
Before Callum starts college and George goes back to school. He says, "What about the candles then?"
The candles were for a romantic night in.
Yeah. You should know by now, George has got an answer for everything. It's all right, my eyes is running now. I've been laughing. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I bet Mr. and Mrs. Magnetic G's got them candles now, haven't they, for when you're going back to college?
Well, if they'd be a bit waterlogged, I think. Oh dear. Eh?
I need the SD cards.
The rear, I think. Well, there's a one in a. So Art is asking for the SD card things.
Never have whiskey. Where's that? Oh, it's on the phone.
Yeah. Same as I say, Tony. You know, to say he's only been going a year, he's doing exceptionally well. But you see, this is what I'm saying. It's more a man thing than it is a woman thing, but I do find it interesting. You know, some of the things that they find. You know. So yeah, you know, I mean, it's I mean, me, Chris and Keith were talking about it other day. You've got to find a niche, haven't you, if you know what I mean? And obviously George has found a niche with the magnet fishing. So you know, I mean the thing is as well, George, I mean, you could I mean, have you ever considered doing a live stream? You know what I mean? And then you could do like a
live stream with Dad.
No, I'm on about like a question and answer live stream where people could ask you about magnet fishing, etc. You know, it's just something to. No, he's only 13 actually, Tony. He's not long since celebrated his 13th birthday. So yeah, I mean, you know, you could do sort of, you know, if you've got the capability of doing a live stream. I mean, you could just do like set this StreamYards up. I mean, obviously your dad will probably be there, and then sort of call it something like question and answers with Magnetic G or something like that.
George,
he says it's a good idea. What?
More restoration videos.
Yes. One that's, did you hear what he said, George? He says he wants to see more restoration videos. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are just a few suggestions, George. I mean, same as I say, the amount of supporters that you've got, the people that are interested in magnet fishing. Same as I say, you could do like, you don't have to be like sitting here for an hour and a half or whatever. But I think myself, you'd get a good response. You know, and you could do like a question and answer, you know, because I'm sure there's like, you know, questions that people want to ask you, you know, about the guns and, you know, when you find things like, you know, blah, 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 or, you know, the episode where you had to call the bomb squad out or things like that. You know, I mean, you don't have to answer. You know, you might get some people that ask stupid questions. You just say, well, you know, when you've got a decent question to ask me, I'll answer it. You know what I mean? You don't have to, you know, I mean, I did a question and answer once, but I sort of put in the title that it was like purely about baking, no questions on my personal life, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I says it's got to, you know, I'll answer the questions if I can. I'll give advice where I can, you know, but it's, you know, it's got to be about baking. You know, ask me anything about baking, but don't sort of go to, you know, anything to do with my personal life, if you know what I mean. You sort of got to set boundaries, let's just say. At the end of the day, you're only 13, so you've sort of got to set them boundaries as to what people are going to ask you. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
What's that one?
You know, some as I say, you don't have to go on for hours. You could just do a short live stream. And it is a subject that a lot of people are interested in. You know, one of the questions probably would be, what sort of magnet do you use? What weight does it, you know, what's the weight that it can hold? Or, you know, and what's the best thing that you've ever found? Things like that, you know what I mean? And I think you'd be surprised at the amount of people that would come in and come into a live stream. I thought you weren't going out just yet. Very, very windy.
We'll see what happens once I get there.
What do you mean, any fags that's rolled?
Yeah.
There's a few.
Hey?
There's a few. I've rolled a few. I did. Well, that other tin full.
It's not there.
So once again, he's abandoning me, George. I don't know about romantic. I think the only thing that he gets romantic with nowadays is the bloody drone.
Hey. What happens at droning stays at droning.
Has it topped you up?
It has.
Yeah. See, it's going and abandoning me again.
I'll let you run it. What more do you want?
Oh dear. That's not the point.
I know. It's like get out when you can.
Well, you probably be coming back. Just press this light on because it's gone awfully dark. You'll probably be coming back in half an hour. See you in a bit. Oh dear me.
See you later, alligators.
See you in a while, crocodile. That's if the crocodiles don't get you. See you in a little while. So, hey, we've got I didn't see you come in there, Ian. Did you want to come up on the panel, Ian? It's all right. We're talking about George and his on the 13th. He's celebrating a year on YouTube, and what should he do? So we've suggested a live stream and like a question and answer thing. So it's only a suggestion, and Chris suggested a giveaway. So yeah, that's just a few suggestions. Same as I say, I mean, talk to your mum and dad about it and see what they say. Oh, tell it's a bit thingamabob this morning. My nose is itching and my eyes is running, and so yeah, it's a bit of a funny old day today. He's gone out flying the drone, yet it's very, very windy, so it remains to be seen. He'll probably be ringing me back up in a bit and saying it's too windy, I can't get the drone up. So yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens. So yeah, I've figured out, if you're still here, Ian, with a bit of advice from Tony, you can actually invite people up onto the panel without putting the link in the chat. You can email it to them. So yeah, so we tried that out yesterday, not yesterday, day before. But you see, the thing is, Tony, once you start watching them, it's one of them things that once you start watching them, you've got to go on to the next one, and then one after that, and they're that interesting, and another thing as well, George goes all over the country meeting up with other magnet fishers. So and Ian's bought a magnet as well, so he's been out a few times with it. So it's getting other people, well, that's it, Tony. I mean, you've got to get something to display them or keep them safe or keep them, so they don't get damaged or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, I know George goes all over the country. Yeah, I think it was just there recently. I think it was Cornwall, actually, that it were there recently. Same as I say, it's like this. I mean, wherever we go, hiya, Easy, how are you? Back to reality. I'm glad to see you back home safely. Well, I was just talking about visiting a few people. We're gonna have to Magnetic G's in the house. He only lives, I don't know, about 35 minutes away from us. Johnny 5 is only in Leeds, which is about 35-40 minutes. And we keep saying we're going to go, like, just for a day and visit people such as Johnny or George, who is Magnetic G. I mean, obviously, if we're coming to Wales or anything like that, it'd have to be sort of for a few days. And I'm glad you had a fantastic time. It looked like you had an absolutely blast in America, and it's something that you can tick off your bucket list. You've met as you say, your brother, you Dizzy. I thought it. Watching the thing, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's same as I say, it's something that it's like a once in a lifetime trip, and there again, it's something that you can tick off your bucket list and say you've met him in person, you've been to America, you went to New York, you went to Massachusetts, and you met up with quite a few people. You know what I mean? It's something, that you're never ever going to forget, and in your lifetime you might not get to do it again. You know what I mean? But at least you can say that you've done it. Just finishing my coffee off. So yeah, you know, and it's you know, it was lovely to see Kate and Art about and looking well, and you know, obviously kids enjoyed it, and which is you know, which is the aim, that's the aim, you know. It's you know, it weren't just you, it were Kate and the kids, and you know, it were same as I say. I mean, we always said that, you know, if we won lottery, we'd tour America in one of these big, you know, motorhome type of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, same as I say, it's something that you can tick off your bucket list. You know, that you've done, and you know, you've been there, done that, and got the t-shirts. Like, well, in your case, the tattoo, if you know what I mean. You didn't get the t-shirt, you got the tattoo. But you know, but you see, the thing I like about it, Daisy, I mean, it weren't just the holiday while you were there. You know, it were in the airport, it were on the plane, it were, you know, it were like you did a step-by-step vlog of your journey getting there and what you did while you were there. So yeah, you know, it's something that, you know, you basically did it step by step, you know, from driving to the airport, while you're actually in the airport, while you're on the plane, you know, and you know, that's sort of what I liked about it. It weren't just sort of, oh, you know, we're here and blah, blah, blah. You sort of did a step by step of your journey all the way. Well, I can imagine, AZ, you know, I mean, it's not just one. I mean, you were there for 2 weeks, so it's not something that, you know, you can do in one video. It's got to be done, you know, in several. So yeah, you know, I mean, that's one thing that we've always said. We want to visit America. You know, that's sort of something that we'd like to tick off as bucket list, you know, as well. And then you sort of say, well, you know, if we ever won lottery, we'd go around touring America, you know, in one of these big camper, you know, proper, I don't know, motorhome type of thing. And then you've got people say, well, you've got to come to this place, and you've got to come to this place, and you've got to come and see me in this place. And that's the only problem with, you know, like making friends in America. You know, you've got everybody saying, well, you've got to come there, and you've got to come here, and you know what I mean? And, you know, it's, I mean, same as we've said, I mean, America's a big place, and you know, it takes time to get all around all these places. And we actually went away for the weekend. Well, we went Friday and came back Sunday. And same as I've been telling people, I feel a lot better for it. For the rest, you know, obviously I've not been well for about a month or so, and it was just to recharge my batteries after being poorly, you know, and it's done me the world of good. Caught the sun, as you can see, got shiny forehead. I caught the sun because we didn't expect it to be that hot, but it's been absolutely gorgeous while we've been there. So yeah, it's all right. I've got an ear down. So yeah, I mean, it gave us a chance to recharge his batteries. We went to visit Eagle VP, in Cleethorpes. Eagle VP and Pixie both did a drunken live stream on Saturday night. And he were only saying, he says, well, I've never got that drunk, he says, since last time I came. You know what I mean? They were on whiskey and they were on beers, and they got blottoed. I'm telling you, they were absolutely off the face. But Keith was suffering more than what Chris were the next day. So I think it took Keith a few days to recover. Thank you, Wazy Days, and I thank you for coming in, and it's always a pleasure to see you, and glad you had a nice holiday. Some as I say, that's the only downfall of coming back home. You've got all the washing to do and all the editing of your videos and whatnot. So will you say hello to Kate for me? I noticed you put and cake. Okay then, cheers then. Thank you, Wazy. I don't think it's so much the coffee that you're becoming for, Tony. I think it'd be the cake. So yeah. Same as I say, I mean, anybody knows that when I visit anybody, I always I don't go empty-handed. And if anybody visits here, I always make something, for my visitors. If that's one thing, they always sample my cakes when they come here, or we go visiting. Same as I say, I mean, I made two when we went to Keith's over the weekend, and I made a lemon drizzle, which is one of Keith's favourites, and I also made a 7-Up pancake. And I says to him, I says, well, if you want, because he goes out like to a fish and chip supper on a Friday evening, they play bingo, I think they play dominoes as well. And he took the 7-Up pancake with him, and he came back and he says, oh, they've all been raving about it, and they want to know what your YouTube channel is, and they want to watch some of your recipes. And when I told them I'd got like a lemon drizzle at home, they wanted him to come back and get the lemon drizzle. And we actually got invited. Did they want to come over and have a game of bingo? And, but Keith had asked previous to that and said, can they come with us? And they said, no, we don't have outsiders in. But they soon changed the tune once they sampled my cake. They couldn't get me over there fast enough. So Keith says, well, they've been driving and blah, blah, blah. And maybe next time when they come over. So next time we go over, we're invited to the fish and chip supper and whatever. And so long as I take cake. And this is the thing. There was some of the cake left, and one of the ladies got caught sneaking it out the communal kitchen. She was taking it, so she got caught red-handed sneaking it out the kitchen and taking it back to her place. So I've got people stealing my cake now. So, but there were a bit of cake left, and Keith said, this lady got caught red-handed sneaking it out the communal fridge or whatever, you know, because like where the guest room was, we got an ensuite. Okie dokie then, Tony. I'll bear that in mind for, you know, when you visit. But yeah, this lady, you know, were that impressed with the 7-Up pancake that, you know, there was some left in the fridge for, you know, because occasionally they do have like coffee mornings and things like that. So it was left in the fridge, and this lady got caught taking it sort of back to a flat. You know what I mean? So we had to laugh about that, you know, when I says, oh, you know, there's some sort of undercover tactics going on here, you know. She'd pinched the last little bit that were left in the fridge, and I had to laugh about that. You know. So yeah, same as I say, I don't like keep making like cheesecakes because I've made quite a lot of cheesecakes. But hiya Karate, how are you? It's gone out flying the drone, Karate, but it is a little bit windy. it's got so you've got a bone to pick with him, have you? Because if I forgot to send you some fish and chips. But yeah, he's gone out flying the drone. He was here for a while, but he's you know, it's lovely and sunny, but it is very windy. So I don't know whether or not he's actually going to get to fly the drone because, you know, it is a little bit windy. So, you know, but hopefully he'll get to fly the drone. Oh, we've got a wasp in. Cheers. Don't come near me, Mr. Wasp. It's all right, there's a wasp coming because I've got the patio doors open. Just keeping my eye out for it. I don't want it stinging me on back at neck. Say, bugger off. I mean, there's nothing worse than a wasp thing. So I'm just trying to keep my eye on it. So, oh, it's all right. I think it's a kamikaze wasp. Yeah, that's all right, Tony. Same as I say, you know, I'm trying to keep my eye out on that wasp. Ooh. That's it, doors that way. It's all right. I'm trying to steer it towards the door. I think it's gone out now. Can't hear it buzzing anymore. So yeah, you know, same as I say. I mean, like when DJ M. McCullum came, I baked a lemon drizzle. I had to do it a bit covertly because Chris didn't know we were coming. So I knew we were coming. So I sort of sat there and I went, oh, I think I'll make a lemon drizzle this afternoon. And I do like wasp, got stung by one a few weeks back on my finger. Took ages to go and heal where it... Well, you see, this is the thing. I mean, I was telling Keith, we were on about like bees and wasps and things over the weekend. And I says, when I were a kid, I ran in on a park, and I were running across the park, and a bee stung me on my eye. Well, you know, my mum ended up taking me down to the hospital because it sort of stung me on my eyebrow. But obviously, being that area, my eye, you know, it I don't know whether I had allergic reaction, but my eye were like out here. And I've always been a bit weary ever since of getting stung, if you know what I mean, because I don't, same as I say, I don't want sort of, you know, I don't want to get stung. I mean, nobody wants to get stung, but I'm always a bit weary that if I get stung, I'm going to have this allergic reaction again. Mind you, it seems lately I'm getting an allergic reaction to everything. But anyway, same as I say, that were a bee sting. And, you know, it looked like somebody had punched me in the eye because, you know, obviously I'd had a reaction to it. And so that's why I'm always sort of, if I see one come in or anything, see, that's the only downside of having the patio doors open. Yeah, you have them open because, you know, it's warm and whatever, but that's the only downside of having the doors open is, you know, bees and wasps and everything else comes in through the window. So same as I say, that's why I'm a bit cautious when I see one coming in. So I mean, touch wood, I mean, I haven't been stung lately, if you know what I mean. So so yeah, but that's summer for you. You know, we come out, the wasps come out and the bees come out, and yeah, you know, all well and good, but as long as they stay away from me, you know, they'll be all right. So so what plans have you got for the weekend then, George? Or are you going somewhere magnet fishing before the weekend? Or, you know, what plans have you got, or future, you know, escapades, let's just say? So some as I say, I don't think we've got anything planned. I think Chris is still recovering from their escapades over the weekend. So oh, you're going to, well, DJ M. McCullum lives in Leicester. So so yeah. So right, I'm yeah, so some as I say, Dennis McCullum lives in Leicester. I mean, you could probably that'd probably be something that you know, would be, I don't know, would you want to meet up? You know, I don't know. I mean, you'll have to. So, did you want to come up on the panel for a quick? Well, that one's just a fly. Did you want to come up on the panel, Tony? We'll not get on the same subject as we were on the other day. So, you know, I mean, it's entirely up to you, Tony. I mean, if you want to come up, I'll invite you. So we've gone back up to 5 in. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know exactly where Chris were going flying, but he didn't tell me where we were going flying. But obviously the Yorkshire Drone Seeker Steve, he's off work with his ears. So, you know, it's like Chris is not working, Steve's off work, you know, on the sick, but you know, while it's nice, they take advantage of the nice weather and go out with the drone. So let me just have a look, Tony. It's all right, I'm waiting for mail thing to load up. Let me just have a look. Ah, there you go, Tony. It had already got it. So yeah, I've sent you the link anyway, Tony. Yeah, so I have sent you the link to it, Tony. Obviously, you see, that's the only thing I've got against this is the lag on it, because I've got my phone showing the chart because there's a lag on this StreamYard. That's hang on a minute.
So I'm
there you go.
How you doing?
I want to say, are feeding your face?
Yeah, I'm sucking a mint in. Well, I'm sucking a fillet of them actually. Bought some mint in pears for tonight, but I'm eating some already. Yeah.
Isabella says, sorry to be political, but while I think of it, I want to give my condolences to all involved in the unfortunate events that have happened over the last few days. I have no idea, Isabella. I mean, to be quite honest, it's very rarely I watch the news, so I don't know what's occurred. So, I mean, you know, if you want to enlighten us, Isabella, I mean, same as I say, I mean, I don't...
How you doing, Jeanette?
Yeah, I'm all right, Tony.
What to bring some of these with me when they come? Some mint and peels.
Oh.
Do have Chris likes them.
Oh, you mean in America, in Ohio and in Texas? Yeah, I mean, I do know about. I thought you meant here in the UK for a minute, then, Isabella. But yeah, the you know, there has been shootings in Texas, and there's been another one in Ohio, and I don't think they're connected. Oh, he says Chris has just come in, and he says it's a no-go with the wind, and it's raining now, and he's having a coffee.
Yes, he's going to come up before Christmas on my channel. He's going to come up on my panel before Christmas, along with Keith and probably 2 other people. Yeah, same as I say. Keith were a bit nervous about doing the live stream on Saturday night because he hadn't been live in quite a while. So when he says, I'll just go live for an hour, and he was quite sort of, when he shut it down, and he says, well, he says that went better than what I expected. You know, it's like riding a bike, you know. So we were sort of quite impressed with himself. You know, how well it went, actually. Yeah.
Isabella's saying that the happen within. I'm not sure about that.
What's that? Yeah.
The shootings. I think the one in Ohio was more on a personal level.
Yeah.
Rather than being anything political. I think the one in Ohio was more on a personal level.
Yeah, so tonight I'm hoping to go live about 7:30 or a bit later.
Yeah, so, that's fine.
It's not going to be. It's just going to be a general chain wag chat job.
Yeah. Some
like
say I don't mind. Just, I know I'm sort of changing the subject slightly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be making, and there's no baking involved.
Right.
It's a banoffee pudding.
I've had that.
And it's like chocolate digestives.
Yeah.
And you actually make your own custard, and it's like chocolate digestives, caramel sauce, a row of bananas.
Yeah.
A layer of custard.
Yeah.
And then you start over again. A layer of chocolate digestives, a layer of caramel, bananas, and custard. And then top it off. You do the final layer is double cream, and then you just grate all chocolate.
Very nice, but I bet it's very fattening.
Hi, Bitty Boo's Homestead and Decor. How are you?
I eat cakes. I go like a donut. Like donut
now. No, it's all right, Isabella. Same as I say.
Sorry, you see that? My mum bought me another bag. I've got 2 bags.
Is it like once you start, you can't stop?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this banoffee pudding, to anybody that sort of, it's going to be a sweet one, if you know what I mean.
I think I'm going to have to calm down one of these days this year. Hello, Jeanette. I'm at the train station at the moment.
Hey, this is the thing, Tony. You know when I was talking about the 7-Up pancake and the lady that was half inching it out the community fridge.
Yeah.
We thought the guest room that we was in, it's got like an ensuite bathroom, but we got use of the kitchen and like a community room, where we'd sit and have a coffee and whatever. So we was, the kitchen had like got these things that open up like a serving hatch.
Yeah. So
Callum was sort of bantering things about.
Yeah.
So right, I'm just reading what Isabella says. Shops are selling apparently bomb-proof bags for kids' safety in school. I mean, it's coming to somewhat when they've got to sell bomb-proof bags.
Yeah.
So anyway, getting onto the subject, Callum sat there in this community room, and there were me, Keith, Chris, and Callum all having a coffee.
Yeah.
And Callum says, he says, I could open a cafe here. So I sort of on the back of his comment, and I says, well, I've got a better idea, Callum. I could bake a load of cakes and do like a coffee morning and sell like slices of cakes and sell the cakes and like give so much of the proceeds to the, to the community centre, the community centre.
Yeah.
But obviously, it'd sort of be like a 10%, and I'd sort of, obviously I got to make some out of it. My ingredient, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Keith went, oh, actually, Jeanette, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Make some old cakes, cut some of them in half, because obviously they're all pensioners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like make cupcakes, and it says you'd make a bomb.
Yeah, we all make a bomb. Which we are cooking. Except before you started selling them all.
Well, you see, this is the thing, Isabella. I mean, it's like everywhere, it's the day and age that we live in, if you know what I mean. But you know, it's you know, it is frightening.
Yeah.
It is frightening.
The windows open because I wanted some fresh air circling, but it's really raining now, so I have to close them again.
But yeah, and Keith says, "Whoa!" He says, "You know, that'd be an idea." He says you could do like a bake sale or a cake sale. Hi, Crimson, how are you? You know, he says because a lot of the, you know, a lot of the people around here obviously live alone.
Yeah.
And it, you know, they probably not want a full cake. So he says you could like sell half a cakes, full cakes, slices. You know what I mean? Or individual cupcakes.
Yeah.
It's okay, Isabella. Same as I say, you know, I mean, it's you know, it's the way of the world. You know what I mean? These things happen in the world. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not bothered, but you know, you can't sort of turn the television on or read a paper or, you know, have notifications coming up on your phone or iPad, and it's always something, you know, either a bombing or stabbing. I mean, like here in the UK, especially in London, which is the capital of the UK, there has been a very sharp increase in knife crimes.
There's too much knife crime in London.
You know, it seems now that nearly everybody, or the younger generation, are carrying knives.
Yeah.
I mean, I often hark back to, I mean, like I'm nearly 57.
You're not 57.
I'm 57 next month.
Rubbish.
Rubbish. What I'm saying is, Tony, I mean, there were none of this when I were a kid. You could go outdoors, you could play out all day long.
You didn't need to lock your doors,
like,
did
you know, your mum shouted you, you went in. You know what I mean?
You didn't need to put alarm on and stuff. You just went out and you didn't lock your bloody doors.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I've had to buy myself because one didn't work. That's a car leader for the car. You know,
it's a card reader. We'll say Chris has got something similar to that, but it's just like a power bank.
That looks like, I thought, I mean, that cost me 16 quid for that.
Well, funny thing is, Tony, when we was in the room on Sunday morning packing up, you see, I got a tub for all Chris's SD cards, and it's got a thing, you know, like how your phone's like got a little hole to pop your SD card out and everything.
Yeah.
It was when I made the peach upside down pudding cake, and I went, oh, this would be ideal for like little bits and bobs, because it's always like, where's my SD card? Where's this or where's that? And I said, so, you know, it'd be ideal to put his SD cards in and everything.
Yeah.
And anyway, we were packing up and everything on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he got this tub out, but it was on like this dressing table, and he caught it. So he says he's seen one of these SD cards flirt. As he, you know, it flirted off of this thing.
Yeah.
When we hunted high and low, we had dressing table, pulled that out. It weren't underneath there. We shoved the bed across. It weren't there. And Chris says, oh, it might have gone in, might have flipped into my bag or something.
Yeah.
But we can't find it anywhere. So anyway, he's had to order one of them this morning.
What SD card?
So is that to it, because the one that it lost or that we couldn't find were quite a big SD card. And obviously with the drone, it needs like a significant amount of storage on the SD card. So same as to say, he's had his bag out, I've had you know, he emptied all his bag out, we can't find it. I emptied his bag out, can't find it. Same as I say, when we left the room, we'd had bed to one side, you know, we'd sort of more or less, you know, had a look everywhere that we could think that it might have sort of gone, but we couldn't find it anyway.
Not cheap, are they, SD cards?
I think that one was $14.99.
That's just about.
But it's not all. Hi, Alexander Smith. How are you?
Is he that? Oh, is Alexander Smith come?
Yeah. You see, I said that to him, Alex. I says, have you put it in your phone? Have you put it in your tablet?
It was on my panel.
You know, is it still in your drone? And he kept saying no. So, you know, I mean, well, I tell you something. I tell you what I said to him, Tony. I says, you watch. He's ordered it from Argos, and he's got to go and pick it up a bit later on. I says, you watch. I says, you've been out and bought a new one. I says, you're going down to Argos, all the way out to Argos to pick a new one up. I says, you watch, and this is sod law. I says, you'll buy the new one. I says, and then you'll find it. So that's always the sod's law with us, Tony.
Yeah.
You know, he'll probably pick that one up that is ordered, and then he'll find it in like a nook or cranny in his bag.
I wanted a 32 gig can. It was like £32.
Pardon?
I went to the camera shop and bought that. Bought this.
Yeah.
£15. And you then got a 16 gig card, which didn't cost me much. I think it comes to £36 in total. But I says, how much is your 32 gig one? And he says £32. Because it's 32.
No, that's not right. Chris has ordered, I think it's a 64 gig one. And it was $14.99.
Oh, that's not so bad. I might work on eBay when they put. See, I'm spending it on eBay.
As I say, everybody's got their opinions, but it's like we don't like to harp on too much about it. You know what I mean? It's we sort of don't. How can I put it, Tony? We don't like to take over the topic of conversation. Let's just say. And it's not the fact that we don't care, because we do. It's just that, you know, we don't like any drama. We don't like starting to get political or anything like that. So yeah. So yeah, that's going to be my project. I think maybe tomorrow. There's no baking involved.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, you leave it in fridge and it's like a banoffee pudding.
I've never had that tonight. I've told you this before. I've never had it.
So, some as I say, I mean, it's something. How can I put it? It's something unusual because it's with digestive biscuits and custard and things. You know what I mean? It's something not the norm, if you know what I mean. And there's no baking involved. And I actually. See you later, George, and thank you for coming in. And Sam, as I say, we'll have to come and see you.
The awesome Alexander Smith on plus Nathan's Gaming, and another person who does a lot of farming simulators on the panel. And I said to Nathan, because Nathan come on first, I said, you're going to have a Scottish chap on. He didn't know who he was. You're going to have a Scottish YouTuber on tonight. And he says, well, what's he called? I've known him for a long time. I've known him for, I wouldn't say as long as what I've known Nathan, but anyway. Comes on and says, oh, you don't know any Scottish accent. I was talking about coins. So then you were talking about coins as well. Because eventually I'll be doing some coins stuff on my channel. Like, obviously that's in the future, you know what I mean? But I thought if I start now getting them, then I can start. But the ones I picked the ones that have nice designs, you know what I mean? I was on the live stream early this morning, because it's like America. This is why I'm always tired, because I'm always on these late night bloody streams. And he was doing showing the coin like that, and then because you can't see it, he put it on his microscope, and then you can see it close up. But always like 1960s coins, and I've got one what's coming from America, which hopefully they'll ship out this week. That's an 1886 coin.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what comes in handy. What I've got, Tony, and I've got a magnifying glass.
It said I need to get some that's like that, but it's a small thing.
In fact, that one, my mum's that way.
Like this. But I'm going to stop at because I thought such an effort. So if I keep on spending on eBay, I'll never get my PC. I'll never get anything else I want because I'm always bloody spending. As soon as it comes in, it's going out again to bloody eBay. So I'm going to have to stop bloody spending. I've done it before. It's so addictive on the website.
Yeah, but if it's same as I say, I mean, Chris desperately needs a new chair, but it's same with us. I mean, we're not working now, and obviously being my full-time carer, we've not got the money to spend that we used to. It's like, you know, you've got to make sure all your bills is paid. You've got, you know, they're the most important things.
Yeah. Yeah, John Smith was showing me some of his coins he's got. He had a competitive set, like some of the coins in a set, special set, and then he gets all the other coins, which I only got one off. All these American YouTubers who do coin collecting channels, and he had a massive box about this box, what obviously come from the States, about this big. And he said, "Yeah, hold some coins, mate. I've got them in." I thought, Jesus Christ, how many coins you got in there?
Yeah, it's just put I do a coin auction on my channel with what I've got. Yeah, I mean, some as I say, it's you know, you see, I don't really know a lot about coins. You know what I mean? United States proof set, 1972.
Always passionate. He's passionate. When I start doing coin collecting, I'm going to have him on my channel because he's so passionate. Obviously, I let everybody talk who's on the panel. You know what I mean? But I was actually saying he'd been talking for, well, I wouldn't say ages, but a while. And I think Nathan wanted to say something. So I nearly said, "Can you wait till thing is finished, Nathan, and then you can have your say?" Because we were just talking about coins and stuff. Then, I mean, it's not interesting for Nathan, but it was interesting to me. And I thought, well, because I don't know you put it in there. And then they said, "So can you wait till you finish, and then you can say what you want to say?" So I had to do in the first panel on the Saturday. I had Walking the Cow talking about our films, and somebody else wanted to, do a bit, say something else. And I had to say to Walking the Cow because he's called Darren. Can you just, when you do you mind where if somebody speaks, then you can have your say?
Yeah.
I do that because he got carried away as well. And I thought, hold on a minute, which bloody channel is it?
Well, you see, this is the thing. I mean, there's sort of an etiquette when you do these panels that, you let people talk, not, sort of.
I want everybody to have to say to me, that's what I'm saying. I just didn't like Walking the Cow on Saturday to over.
Well, you see, this is the thing with me, Tony. I mean, like, I respect it's your channel, and I let people say what they've got to say. I'm not one for butting in and things like that.
Well, I don't mind Johnny Smith talking about coins, but what Nathan was trying to, and then said to Nathan, "Do you mind wait till Cassandra stops talking about whatever he's talking about his coins, and then you can have your say after." I waited, and I thought if he starts again, I'm gonna have to say after, but it was fine. But Walking Cow on Saturday, I was like, Darren, because he's called Darren. Darren, do you mind? Nathan wants to say something. And I just said to him, can you just respect everybody's opinion and wait to have you say? I don't want people to over talking each other because it's not just me, it's people in the chat as well going, why are they over talking each other?
Yeah. And Alexander says,
I didn't realise he stopped talking. And he come back later, so that's better. It's like, that's fine, mate, as long as I know where I am. But you got to have some control, don't you?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's your channel.
Exactly.
And if you've got a guest on trying to say something, like Alexander says, I was trying not to talk over everyone at the time. But, you know what I mean? You've got to have respect for the person whose channel it is as well.
Exactly. Don't mind Johnny Smith having the talk, but I thought it's going to happen again. I thought, end of the day, I've got some awesome people. and invited Alexander Smith off. I invited another one, been supporting Nathan, and it was nice. It was a nice panel. But I thought, I know everybody's got different views about things, but I thought it's like manners. You got to wait till somebody's finished talking, then you have your say. You know what I mean? I don't mind if that's it, but if somebody says, "Oh, yeah, excuse me, you've had your say. Let somebody else have their bloody." You know what I mean?
Can I just interrupt? Hi, Awakey, how are you? And Pixie's just said, you still live, Mrs. P. No, it's a figment of your imagination. Of course I'm still live. So yeah, you know, I mean, you see, that's the only problem. I mean, like, via Google Hangouts, you could have up to 8 people on the panel. But that's the only problem when you've got a large panel that everybody's talking over, you know what I mean? Everybody's talking over everybody, and that's hence the reason why I don't like too many people on the panel, because, you know.
If we have yourself on tonight, we have, if Alex wants to come on, and maybe 2 others, and another 2, you know, so there'll be 3 of us. So another one, that'd be enough.
Yeah.
I've had I think the maximum I'm going to have, I know you can have 6, the maximum I'm going to have is fine, but I think for the time being, I think 4 is enough.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Tony.
I mean
even with 4, you've still got people talking over one another. But when you get to 6 or 8, you've got everybody wanting to talk at the same time.
And it's like, it's not just me. I'll say, can you show some respect to people in chat? Because if I can understand you, how are they going to understand you? I mean, I said to Nathan, I actually said to him before Finny came, I talked to him on the phone before the thing, and I said, I think Finny collects coins, so he's just as passionate as me, which he is, but I don't think Nathan's into coin collecting. So he's like, he's more into gaming and stuff, you know what I mean? But I said to him, he's going to be, and he was, and actually what he said was quite good. And I thought, oh, I didn't know that. Very knowledgeable because he'd been doing it longer than me. But I said to him, I've done it like when I was young, when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? When I was way back, when I was just like 14, 15, you were collecting coins. You know what I mean? I should have kept them because I could have them now. But it's like anything else, you know. You can go back to.
Yeah, Wakey's just said it's unwatchable when that happens.
Yeah.
And no one watches the We see this is the thing. That's why I said. I mean, that's why I don't like big panels.
No,
because you've got everybody talking over everybody else.
I won't allow that anyway.
And Gunnar Blood Owl says he's back. But yeah, you know, I mean, I think, same as you said, 4, you know,
I'm not going to have 6 on my channel. Too many. I even got.
Yeah, you've got that problem as you know, such as myself. I don't like interrupting, so. I've been invited up on, let's just say, you know, speaking metaphorically, I've been invited up onto your panel. I'll just sit there listening because I don't like interrupting when somebody's talking. So hence the fact that because I don't like interrupting people, I'll just sit there and don't say anything.
No, bro. I always try. The two pounds I've had, each one has their own say about things. Like on Saturday we were talking about horror films, so each one was talking about different horror films from their perspective. Right? First panel, but I said to them all before we started. I said, I'm placing you into panels. I'm placing you to put in comments into the chat, into the panel. So we'll see how we go. And obviously it went down well. So I said I'll do another one. So I did another one on Monday night. I thought that was a lot better because obviously it's the second panel. As I do them, I'm learning as I go along. You know what I mean? But I was sitting there and thinking, in a minute, I'm going to say something because I thought, I'm like a modulator saying, excuse me, you let me
can I just interrupt you, Tony? I'm sorry. We've got Mrs. Beauty on the budget. Come in. Hello, Mrs. And Chris says, anyway, going to get going, catch in a bit. And Wakey said, Steve O.D. had 9 on his stream the other week. Complete waste of time. I tend to agree with that. It's just everybody talking over everybody else. I mean, same as I say, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous 9 on a live stream. and you've got everybody talking at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I've got Bruce in the book. I'm sure I have.
Yeah. Going back to what Alexander's saying, he says, I like that the chat is popping up on the screen. There is like a thing to the corner where you can click on, and it does bring the chat up onto the screen.
Yeah, I do that because Simon Smith were leading from the comments, but I was trying to put, I did. Again, I was looking for, but I was saying to Simon Smith and the ones on Monday night, I said on the first panel, which Nathan was on, I said for over an hour and a half, which has never happened before, I had stuff like 15, 16 people in the chat, not going out and coming back in again, being there constant. So I thought, that's a good sign. And I've had 35 likes now. That was 200 views. This one I want to do Monday night. That's going to be up for a day and a half. That's over 200 views. So if I keep doing it, they're going to say, oh, does he do videos and other stuff he's doing? He's doing panels now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is what Walker the Cow said last year before I left. You need to start doing panels because I'll go down well. And I actually said to him, I said to him, I think recently, I said, you were right about, in the text messages, I said, you were right about that, mate. So he went down and he said, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. But he was saying, like, if he comes in, he's like a moderator as well. If he comes in tonight, he'd be saying, I thought you were going to do another one until 2 weeks. Well, I've decided to do another one. Because I've been, this back problem I've got, sitting and watching people's videos, it's all right. But after so long, Jen, this chair's now, but I get, my back starts creasing me. Because I have
That's it. You've got to, you see, that's why I sit on the sofa, because anywhere else I'd be fidgeting left, right, and centre. So Bella says she's in the car coming home from Broadstairs. So, but you see, this is the thing. I mean, like we had Magnetic G in this morning, and he's like wanted to do something to celebrate being on YouTube for a year, and I says, well, he's only a 13-year-old lad. Yeah, when he goes out, is like a magnet fishing channel. Yeah. Oh, you've been to the beach, have you, Bella? Same as I says, he don't do live streams. He just puts the videos up. He gets some good viewers. And same as I've said, it says, have you any suggestions as to what I can do, like to celebrate? Chris mentioned like a giveaway, and same as I said, it could do like a question and answers.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people are interested in this magnet fishing. You know what I mean? And as long as they sort of stick to the script and only ask him questions about magnet fishing, but
I did that years ago.
You've got odd people that sort of like to push the boundaries and start talking about, the personal life, but you've got to specify. Yeah. Like as I say, I did a baking question and answers.
That was a good one.
And I says, well, look, it's got to be just about baking, nothing else. I'm not answering any questions about my personal life.
No, you want that, do you?
You know what I mean? You've got to specify it's going to be question and answers about magnet fishing.
Yeah.
About me YouTube channel, and the same as I say. Well, you see, that's what we were talking about. Because obviously, Bella knows that George is only 13 years old.
I thought he was 14.
No, he's only 13. But the fact is that he's a 13-year-old back baking with magnets. But yeah, he were asking for suggestions on what he should do for his 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube. Yeah. And we some say Chris said giveaway, and I says do a live stream, just do like a question and answer, because it is something that a lot of people are interested.
Yeah.
But same as I said earlier on, Bella, I says it's not a woman thing, it's more for the men and whatever, because to be quite honest, Yeah, I find his videos are interesting, but only the things that he finds. But it's more interesting for men rather than the women. So I did say earlier on, Wakey, I was just telling Tony, I'm on about doing a banoffee pudding for my next vlog.
Sounds lovely.
And it's chocolate digestives.
I can't come for the window tonight and have a pig.
Caramel sauce, a row of bananas, and then custard. And then you repeat it again. And the final layer is just like double cream with grated chocolate on it. So there's no, no baking involved. She says I can't get my head round ordinary fishing without this magnet lark. But it's I think the pull for some people is the fact that, I mean, like same as I was saying, not so long back they had to call I think they were in Leicester. Yeah. They had to call the bomb squad out because I don't know whether it were ammunition that they found or whether it were hand grenade or what it were that they found. I'm not too sure on the specifics, but they ended up calling the bomb squad out and they had to evacuate, the vicinity. And you've got these World War bombs, were unexploded, and it, I mean, when all's said and done, it can be a bit of a, without pardoning the pun. Okay then, Bella, thank you for coming in, and I'll speak to you later. It is sort of, pardon the pun, a bit of a minefield, like if you're getting unexploded bombs and bullets and guns.
I think the technology we've got, they would know where all the bombs are thing, because they keep finding them, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, Wakey's just said still a load of UXBs around after all these years. And I agree with him, but I mean, to be quite honest, let's say, for instance, me and Chris were to go out magnet fishing, I'd absolutely kick myself if I pulled an unexploded bomb out at river. I mean, same as I said earlier on, Tony. Oh. I mean, knowing our luck, first thing we'd pull out is a dead body with concrete boots.
I've been made that. So, yeah, welcome to my channel. I've just got a corpse. I don't know. Looks a bit suspicious.
Yeah, we've just pulled.
Oh damn! The police is there now. Tell them to get off their phone.
But we've just pulled a dead body out the River Ouse. Can you come and sort it, please?
Might be unsolved case.
It's got a pair of concrete boots on and wrapped all in chain and whatever.
And you'd be saying, we're in London where the clown monument used to be. Oh, shit, I've been saying that.
But yeah, I mean, the same as I said, it's sod's law that, first time Chris would go magnet fishing and then we'd end up with something like that, a dead body.
Probably just my luck as well, do you know?
So, same as George says, I mean, they've got coins and they've got all sorts. I mean, the last one I think he uploaded, it were an old McDonald's sign.
Oh.
So we was chucked that in, in the river.
God knows.
Did somebody thought it were a good prank to pull to nick the McDonald's sign and chuck it in the river? Yeah, we've gone around here a few times because of the engineering works. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting.
Yeah,
wait, why would we laugh, Wakey? I mean, he says don't laugh, but I have one of those magnets. Same as I say, Chris has been sort of pondering about getting one. I know DJ Ian's watched the magnet fishing channels and he's gone out and bought one. But you see, the thing that, it's the price. You want a decent magnet that that can pull some weight out of the canal. and the cost, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, you ask Chris. I mean, he thinks it's absolutely, he watches every one of George's videos because he finds it interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you with the coin collecting. You think it's interesting.
That's not fair, but I know we're going to have a lot of people when they start saying, "Oh, bloody hell, not coin collecting again." But saying that, I'm going to have a lot of people say, "Oh, great, Tony's doing coin collecting." That's dear, I've not got that coin. Look at that coin you just picked up. Awesome. I'll probably update when they get down to it and they've got everything sorted. But
I'll have to mention to that. It's all right. Wakey's put 120 kilograms, the £23 on eBay. I'll have to tell him when he comes back in. He headed off out to fly the drone, but it's very windy here. So he messaged in the chat a bit earlier on saying too windy and it has started raining. So they weren't going to get out flying. So same as I say, I mean, the only part that interests me, Tony, is the fact of what they're pulling out, if you know what I mean, like the varied things, old bottles and and then and the stuff that they drag out.
It's like metal detecting when you go afield somewhere not where you're local, but somewhere like down south somewhere, and you find something like that buried treasure, and then it's in the paper, and they get a finder's fee, don't they?
But you see, the thing is, I mean, like when we went to Cleethorpes, I mean, they were out on the beach with the drones, and there were a guy with a metal detector. It's what people are interested in. If you know what I mean. You've got stamp collectors and I mean, no disrespect to stamp collectors.
Yeah.
But, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, there's nothing more boring than stamp collections. But it's not everybody's cup of tea, and you've got different collectors of different things, and obviously that's their thing.
Yeah. Not for everybody, I do realize that. I mean, when I do it properly, we're going to have, I know that's my last minute beer for tonight.
Hands off the mint imperials, Tony. Well, say it's too late. I've eaten them all. It's prom down and all.
So that's what I like about you. See, you're so jolly when you're laughing. I love your laughter.
Oh dear!
That's what I've missed since I've been off.
Step away from the mint imperials. Yeah.
Well, they're so addictive. I mean, you suck them and you suck them and you suck them. You're like, oh, they've gone now. It's gone another one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like anything else, Tony. I mean, I'm going to make you laugh now, and I'm going back some years. Where I used to live, there were a sweet factory that made their own sweets.
Yeah.
And occasionally they used to buy stuff in.
Yeah.
Now they go to different sort of cash and carries and things like that. And they came back one day with these. They were what I forgot what they're called now. Different chocolate liqueurs.
Yeah.
But there was like what I call misshapes.
Yeah.
So they were, but they were like selling them to, different outlets, cut price.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of my best friends at the time, she went, "Oh, I've just been to the sweet factory." She says, "And I bought some of these liqueurs."
Yeah.
So. Yeah, fine. But you see, that's not my cup of tea either. I'm not into liqueurs or anything like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to laugh because she rung me the next morning and she says, "Do you know?" She says, "I feel as rough as a dog." So she says, I might have an explanation for it, though. She says, I sat watching telly last night. She says, and I got this bag of liqueurs outside of me.
Right.
So she says, I was sort of, like you are with mint imperials, you know, these is nice. And she'll eating them one after other. She says, next thing she looks down and there are only about 3 left. So she ate a full bag of these liqueurs.
Oh, I've still got a Barford bag left.
So I says to her, I says, well, do you know why you feel rough? I said, because you've got a bloody hangover. You've got an hangover from chocolate liqueurs.
Oh, yeah. The bit, I don't like them. They're a bit sickly. I've had some in the past.
You see, I don't like them, Tony, because I don't like the liqueur that's in them. But yeah, she says, I sat watching telly eating these chocolate liqueurs. Sort of like you were with mint imperials.
Done with them, you just get.
You know, she says, next thing I know, I looks down in bag, and I don't know, there were 1 or 2 left.
Yeah.
And she rang me next morning. She says, do you know something? She says, I ain't off, got a banging head. And I says, yeah. And when she told me she'd been eating these liqueurs one after other, I says, yeah, I says, it's called a bloody hangover. I was killing myself with laughing. And she says, well, I wouldn't have believed it. She says, from eating liqueurs, I says, they've got brandy and whiskey and things in them. You'd have me. You know what I mean? I says, and if you were eating them one after other, I says, you've been mixing your drinks, in other words.
Well, it is, yeah.
Yeah, I had a right good laugh at that, I did.
Well, she used to get bought every so often, every Christmas like that. But to me, they were too strong.
You see, I'm not like I don't like spirits.
Right.
So I mean, another thing, they're too sweet. So I don't like them at all. But yeah, I had a right laugh at that. And I said, I kept telling everybody, I says, she got pissed on chocolate liqueurs. I says, well, that's one for the grandkids story to tell the grandkids, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not for everybody, do you know? I mean, I don't like things like that because they're just a bit. They're strong, but they're also
and they're sickly. They're too sweet for me. So, right, Wakey said we had one near us. Lions used to get solid chocolate Kit Kats. But you see, as well, when we first moved to Sheffield, Chris worked at Cadbury's. Oh, you could go. I mean, because he worked at Cadbury's, they got a factory shop, and I'm not kidding you. You could get like a bin liner size thing, and it only cost you about 17 quid.
Not so bad.
But they used to do like 2 kilo like roses. Not in, in the tins or anything, but in just like a plastic tub. And they were 2 quid.
Yeah. That's cheap.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you sort of got the family saying, well, next time, because they used to do all sorts, like extra strong mints and these soft mints and jelly babies and...
I love jelly babies.
Anything, because it were Cadbury's Bassets, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
so we've got like the wine gums and virtually could get anything. Cream eggs when they were, I mean Chris did tell me how many million cream eggs that they made when they're around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like biscuits, because they started doing I forget what biscuits they were anyway, but it were like a mixed bag. You could get biscuits, you could get wine gums, roses, like all sorts. Strong mints, soft mints, some to say, if you got the money, you could spend a fortune. But
It's how you go, buddy dentist. You enjoy your stuff now. When I go to the dentist, she say, "Are you eating chocolates again?"
But you see, the thing is, they put like a spending limit on, obviously, because you could have bloke before you going in and spending £100, and then there'd be no left for you, if you know what I mean. So each individual time you went, you got like a spending limit. Yeah. So let's say, you know, Chris's sister gave him £20, get me what you can, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We couldn't get anything till, you know, like following date. You've got a spending limit, you know, the limited spending, you know, because things were so cheap. Yeah. So, you know, and same as I said, they do that so you don't sort of say, go spending 50 or 60 quid in one swoop, and then there's nothing left for the next person to buy. Yeah. Yeah, Wakey said, I am salty. I bet that's salty notes. Yeah, Wakey says, my uncle worked at Fox's Biscuits in Batley. He used to bring us a box of broken biscuits every week. But you see, this is the thing. I mean, they sort of the perks of working in that industry. Same as say, Chris's perks were, you know, he could go to the factory shop whenever he wanted. Even like if it were when he weren't working, you could still go to the factory shop. Yeah. But some as I say, they had to put a spending limit on it because some as I say, you know, they couldn't. They only stock up like certain days of the week. So if somebody were to go in and like buy off at shop, then it did not give anybody else a chance, you know, to buy anything. Yeah. So yeah, but you know, when you've got sort of got your family, they were, you know, I mean, my mum were alive at the time. You know, my mum's saying, "Can you get me this?" and "Can you get me that?" And then you've got his family saying, you know, well, what you can't, you know what I mean? It's you don't just get it for yourself. You've got family asking. Yeah. Is StreamYard an app I can get on my iPad? Tony is more qualified to.
What's that?
Yeah. He says, can he get StreamYards on his iPad? It says, is it an app I can get on my iPad?
I just got my. I found it on Google search. I just typed StreamYard on Google search and it popped up.
Yeah, I did.
In the page, and I just bookmarked it.
But I don't think it's actually an app, is it?
I don't think it's an app. I am salty.
But I have heard that the only way that you can stream on StreamYard is from a PC or a laptop.
Well, it's beta phase at the moment, Jeanette. That's what it is.
But I don't know about. I mean,
you have a look in App Store if you want, or thingy store. But I don't know.
I mean, best thing to do is Google it. Yeah. Same as I say, I'm using a laptop. Tony uses a laptop.
I'm using a desktop at the moment, but you know I can use a laptop, but the laptop's a bit slow.
Well, yeah, but same as I say, I've heard that
a bit slow at the moment.
Yeah, you can only use it on a desktop PC, or you can only actually stream from it using a desktop PC or a laptop.
Yeah, but don't forget, like, as I said a few times to other people, that it's not the final product yet. It's in the testing phase. So it's in the beta testing phase. I don't know what in the beta testing for, but they have to get all the stupid echoing what we're going on. When you have, we had a bit near the end of the first panel on Saturday. I think it's because of Nathan's headphones, and we had slightly at the end of mine. But don't forget, we've been on over 2 hours before that happened.
Yeah, Wakey's just said, I used to work at farm stores, Asda, meat factory. You could fill your freezer for £5 at the factory. You see, this is the thing. You know, I mean, every sort of, you know, Chris worked at Cadbury's, you know, I mean, every, you know, where they've got the quirks, so to speak. So, yeah, the only problem I've got with this, Tony, is this chat likes, and that's, I've got my chat on my phone.
Yeah.
Because the chat on this StreamYard lags.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm seeing the chat coming up on my phone before it actually comes into the actual chat.
Hey, I'm seeing it fine at my end.
So I've got sort of I've sort of got my YouTube channel on my phone, so I can see the chat when it comes in, rather than wait for it to come in, you know, on the.
What I tend to do, I mean, obviously this is just my own viewpoint of doing it, is obviously I sign into StreamYard first, and I set it all up and go live that way first. And after a short while, I'll log into YouTube, but obviously I'm on my finger on my side, so that I can see the chat myself, because it's like as Alan Smith was saying at the time, I don't know that is quite what they're asking us or something. It's all like that, and I'll put the question, what was in the chat, on the screen so they can see it.
Yeah,
you can see the chat. I can see.
Alexander says, "Do you know that the echo happens running the live cam on panel and running the live play on YouTube?" We see I've got mine, but I've got the sound turned down.
Well, I've deleted. Well, I haven't deleted Jeanette. I've deleted Jeanette on my YouTube side, Alexander Smith, because that was echoing on Monday nights. Remember?
Yeah.
Have you got your YouTube thing open, Tony? Because it's echoing again. I said, "Oh, I knew I forgot something." But I was on to. I mean, they all went, and I was still talking to Travis, the Magic Manic, I think he's called. Because as soon as you go off, you don't stream live. You can't private chats. So
I do. I know about that.
You see it.
Who came up the other day? Anyway, and we were chatting afterwards. But you see, that's why I have my phone on, because I'm actually seeing like Wakey's just made a comment, but it's not come up here.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, it's like a 30-something second. It says it's been fun, but I have to go. Nell is doing the dance at the back door. Has she got her legs crossed? But yeah, that's the only reason why I've got it running on my phone, is the fact that the chat here on StreamYard is same as Wakey says, at least 30 seconds behind.
Yeah.
The actual YouTube one. So that's the only reason I've got it on my phone, is so I can see that,
But like I said to you, it's still in the testing phase. You're going to have what I call it glitches, as I call it.
Yeah.
Because it's in the testing phase. Now, if it's in the final phase, I'll understand what people are moaning about it. But I'll be saying to you, it's like it starts again tonight. So look, don't blame me. It's still in the testing phase, guys.
Yeah.
You've got to have some bloody patience.
It's like everything else, Tony. There's always got to be a beta version before,
But it's like everything else, Jen. I mean, a lot of people. I've not been on as often as most people have been on, but on and off, I have been on. I was telling them on Monday night, because a lot of them are new to my channel. So I was saying, well, actually, on and off, I've been on YouTube roughly 7 years on and off. So I am experienced on YouTube. I'm not a newbie. My channel says.
Yeah.
Because I was telling them, a lot of people are still subbing now, and I said, even though it says registered in March this year, I've actually been on YouTube for 7 years.
Yeah. You see, when Salty were asking about, using, I got the StreamYards, and I went live via StreamYards all by myself, but I'm not really technologically minded.
Yeah.
And it were only after asking you that I invited you on panel without putting it in the chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it on principle, it is the same concept as Google Hangouts, because you've got to know the email in order to invite them up onto the panel.
Yeah. Well, I did that on Saturday. I actually emailed them all on Saturday. And Nathan come into the chat and I said, well, he come into the chat and only sent his email about 2 minutes before he came in the chat. I said, well, he's going, all right, you know, he sent it, man.
Pardon?
Then he came on, he went, oh, right, now I found it. I said, well, obviously you found it, mate, because you're on the bloody chat. He's like, I'm all right now. I said, yeah. He went, oh, hello, everybody. I said, yeah, you're live on YouTube, mate. Oh, I didn't know that, mate.
So he clicked on it and didn't know what he was going.
Well, it's something that I call it the golden limb. I know everybody calls it the green limb, so I call it. It's like as I somebody else on my chat on Monday night were going, "What are you on about, golden?" He was in the waiting area. I said, "No, it's the golden limb because it's golden electro, isn't it?" I said, "Sorry about there's no drinks. Somebody else has had them time before." I mean. But I can see
it's like trial and error with everything. You until you get used to it, and until you get, you know, it's trial and error, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, right, I'm going to close it down, Tony. I've been going over 2 hours.
It's all just chatting.
I know.
We like chatting, don't we?
Yeah. So I'll look out for you tonight on.
Yes. You'll see if you got
live stream.
You have supported my channel. You'll see if Golden Lecture Movies has gone live. So then I'll just do a few minutes talking about what I'm going to be doing, and then I've been saying like I'm going to get some people on. I'm going to put general chat. I think I'm going to put. It's not going to be about films and stuff because I think we're going to be doing that in the future anyway. There's no point to talk about bloody films.
Alexander says I will need to start collecting email addresses then. But you see. The thing is, because I invited Tony via email the other day, I clicked, it says something about you click on invite, and then it says copy the link, and then it comes up with like a thing to email, and I just typed in the first letter of your email, and it came up with you because you've been on before.
Yes, I appreciate you doing that. I've been on twice now. Awesome. But I was awesome. About a new one.
So I'll see you on the next one, guys.
Hello.
Oh, you've got a keyboard thing for
Keyboard thing, yeah. Tablet.
Anyway, I'll leave you all to it, and I'll speak to you on the next one. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all on Friday. I'm still alive.
Well, that's why it's fair.
I'm busting for a pee.